Hi there. Why so much anti-Israel content online? Emotions move faster than truth. Pictures of suffering children are powerful. They bypass reasoning and stir emotions instantly. Algorithms then push this content further. Historical narrative for decades, the Palestinian cause has been framed in Europe as a justice for the oppressed issue, while Israel is painted as the oppressor. Identity politics. Many young Europeans connect the Palestinian struggle with broader issues like colonialism, racism, and even inequality. So, Free Palestine becomes symbolic for all anti-establishment process. Second, why are Europeans in the streets? Large Muslim population in France, Germany, and the UK actively push the Palestinian narrative. Secular society that reject biblical prophecy have no framework to see Israel's role in gospel, so they judge only by politics and emotion. Historical guilt. After World War II and colonialism, Europeans tend to sympathize with those they view as oppressed minority. How do we respond as Christians? Firstly, hold two truths together. We condemn violence against civilians, whether Palestine or Israel. We affirm God's covenant with Israel and pray for Jerusalem. Psalms 122:6 point to Christ. Only Jesus can break the cycle of hate, revenge, and bloodshed. Political solution alone won't bring lasting peace. Avoid extremism. Don't let TikTok push you into blind pro-Israel nationalism or blind pro-Palestine activism. Be prophetic, condemn sin, call for justice, and proclaim the gospel. Fourth, apologists answer when confused. When someone asks, why pray for Israel with all these crimes? You can say, I grieve for every child who suffers, Palestinians or even Israelis. But as a Christian, I also believe God has a plan for Israel and the nations. That's why I pray, not for criminals, but for peace, justice, and salvation for all through Jesus, the Prince of Peace. So, my friends, be careful. When you open TikTok today, your heart breaks. You see children in Gaza crying, starving, bleeding. And yes, the pain is real. As a Christian, we should never ignore suffering, whether Palestinian or Israeli. Every life is precious before God. But here's what you need to understand social media amplifies emotions more than truth. Images spread faster than context, and the narrative push is often one sided. That's why we are seeing streets in Europe filled with demonstrations and flags saying Free Palestine. Many people don't even know the history, they just react to what they see. As a Christian, we are called to hold two truths together. First, we condemn violence and against civilians anywhere. Second, we affirm God's word, which tells us to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and remind us that God still has a covenant with Israel, which is a key. If we forget that one, then run into trouble. So when someone asks, why pray for criminals? I say this, I don't pray for criminals. I pray for peace, justice, and salvation. I pray that both Israelis and Palestinians came to know Jesus, the Prince of Peace, because no political solution, no war, no demonstration will ever bring lasting peace. Only Christ can. So let us not be